students of class 10. I think we have already started with the age of industrialization. Clear? So today we are going to learn about the pace of the industrial change. Now, how fast the process of industrializations are being done? Do industrialization mean only the growth of the factory industries? These are a certain questions. Clear? So, first, the most important industry in Britain were clearly cotton as well as the metal. Now, as the populations are increasing, cotton became one of the leading sector in the first phase of the industrialization up to the 1840s. After that, what happens? Iron and steel continues. Clear? Now, with the expansion of the railways, okay, what happened? The demand of the iron and steel increased rapidly. And by 1873, Britain was exporting both the commodities, that is iron and steel, worth about 77 million dollars, double the value of its cotton export. Clear? Now, next one, secondly, what you can find out here, the new industries could not easily displace traditional. It is not very simple that the new industries will come and they are going to replace the traditional industry. Clear? Now, textile was a very dynamic sector, but a large portions of the output was produced not within the factories but outside within the domestic unit. Now, third one, the pace, the force of the change in the traditional industries was not set up by the steam powered cotton or metal industry, but they did not remain entirely stagnant either. So, what you can find it out? Ordinary and small innovation. Innovation means what? Discovery, ideas, new things were all the basis of the growth in many non-mechanized sectors also. Number 4, technological changes occurred very slowly. They did not spread dramatically across the industrial landscape. So new technology, whatever it comes, they are very expensive. Merchants and industrialists were cautious about using it. So what happened? Once the machines often broke down, the repair is very, very costly. Clear? Next one, after going through all this thing, let us move towards the case of the steam engine. I hope everybody have know what is a steam engine. James Watt, he improved the steam engine, but it was produced by Newcomen and the patented new engine in 1781. Now, his industrialist friend Matthew Boulton, he manufactured the new model. So, of these what you can find, 80 of these steam engines were in cotton industry, 9 in steam engine in wool industry, and the rest were in the mining canal works, as you can find out iron works also. Clear? Now, steam engines were not only used in any of the other industries. So, when the most powerful new technology, what happened? They started enhancing the productivity of the labor manifold, which was slow to be accepted by the industrialists. Clear? Now, next one is the hand labor and the steam power. What you can find out here? In Victorian Britain, why it has been said Victorian Britain? Because it was ruled by Queen Victoria. There was no shortage of a human labor. Poor farmers, the vagrants, they keep on moving from one place to another, okay, in search of jobs. They're waiting for the work, okay. Now, what you can find in many industries, demand for labor was seasonal. What do you mean by seasonal? According to the season, the work has to be done. Now, see here, number 1, gas work and breweries. They were especially very busy throughout the cold months. Number 2, books, binders and printers catering to Christmas demand, too needed extra hands from before December. Clear? And number 3, in all such industries where production fluctuated with the season, industries usually preferred hand labor, employing workers for the season. And number 4, at the waterfront, what you can find out? Winter was a time when the ships were repaired and they spruced up. Clear? Now, machines were oriented for what reason? To producing uniforms, standardized goods for the mass market. Demand were growing so fast that the demands of the people were growing so fast that the goods with the intricate designs and the specific shapes are being made. Clear? So, in the mid-19th century, what happened? 500 varieties of hammers were also produced and 45 kinds of axes were also produced. Now, this required a human skill, not a mechanical technology. Clear? Now, in Victorian Britain, what you can find? The upper class people. Who are the upper class people? The rich people, the aristocrat, the bourgeois. What they preferred? They preferred things produced by hand. They used to give more preference to the hand. So handmade products came to symbolize refinement and class. They were better finished, individually produced, and carefully designed rather than the machine made goods. Clear? So what happened on the other side? What you can find out? Machine made goods were being exported to the other colonies. Clear? Now let us move to the lives of the workers. How the workers they used to live their life. Now abundance of labor you can find it out in the market, which really affected the lives of the workers. Clear? Hundreds of the people, those who are residing, to the cities, they travel to the countryside for the jobs, wherever they get. Clear? So the actual possibility of getting the job is dependent upon what? Network of friendship and relations. If you have a relative or a friend in a factory, then you are 100% likely to get a job quickly. But not everyone had a social connection. So many of the job seekers, what they do? They wait for a weeks. They started spending nights under the bridges or in night shelters. Some of they stayed in the night refugees. They were set up by the private individuals. Other they went to the casual wards maintained by the poor law authorities. For what are the important thing is that whatever those who don't have any social connection, they are going to work more hard in getting the jobs. Clear? Now seasonality of the work in many industry means what? Prolonged period without works. After the busy season was over, what happened? Poor were on the streets again. They again returned to the countryside, to their home after the winter, where you can find more of the demand for the labor. Clear? So most they look for the odd jobs, and they were very difficult to find it out. Clear, children? Now wages were increased somewhat in the early 19th century, but they tells us little about the welfare of the workers. Now instantly what you can find it out? There's a fluctuations between the trade, from year to year. Real value of the workers they earned fell significantly. Clear? Income of the workers they depended not on the wage rate alone. Now what was critical was the period of employment. The number of days of work determined the average daily income of the workers. And at the same time you can find out that 10% of the urban population were extremely poor. So in the period of the economic area, what you can find out? Proportion of unemployed, they are going to went up anything between 35 to 75% in different regions. Clear? So many of the industries what they started to develop more of the new technology. So that is why they introduced a spinning jenny. Clear? They introduced a spinning jenny, and in spinning jenny what you can find out? Woolen industries, where all the workers used to work through hands, but the women they survive on hand spinning because before began attacking the new machine. Now why the women they are become very much annoyed? Why they become very much annoyed in introducing spinning jenny? Because once the machine comes in the form of people's hand, what will happen? There will be more unemployment. So these are the phase, children, you can find out here. Many of the great opportunities of employment started to come up. Roads were widened, new railway stations came up, railway lines were extended, tunnels were being dug, drainage and sewers laid, rivers embanked. So lots of things started to grow. If a new one will come, old has to die. Clear? So thank you, children. This much for today. In the next video, I will send the other one.